With Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
From a championship backfield to your morning drive.
Hands to Hester, and Hester,
Yep, got it, 5 out of 5!
You're locked in to Off the Bench.
Flynn is back to throw from the end zone. Boom!
Live from the Raising Cane studio, here's Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 3 of OTB Tuesday shows brought to you by Community Steel. CommunitySteelCo.com is the website. All right, every Tuesday, 9 a.m., we catch up with our guy, Nick Underhill, New Orleans.football, who joins us now. Nicholas, how we doing? How we living, sir?
Doing good. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. Obviously, I think we're all still excited about some of the free agent moves that the New Orleans Saints have made, excited about the upcoming draft in Pittsburgh coming up in a couple of weeks now. But I got to ask you, did you know that when the Saints signed Travis Etienne, that it was actually Travis Achan?
I had no idea. I mean, that's definitely the Pennsylvania in me. I was blown away when I heard that. It's like, there's no way that's it. I mean, look, we butcher people's names all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's not one that I would have, asked, hey, how do you say this? It just seems straightforward. I've been here for 12 years now, going on 12 years. And that one caught me off guard. I feel like I've acclimated pretty well. And, I guess I needed, I'm sure Bobby Abear was like, yeah, you idiots. But I had no idea.
Look, at this point, it's on him a little bit though, right?
Yeah. I'm going to back you up here. Your name's your name, and if Dabo Swinney can't say it, you force him to say it. Like, Coach, it's not ETN. That's not the way you say my last name. It's Achan. I got a brother. He's pretty good at football,
it's
too.
His first year in the league, either.
Right. He's got a brother that we've called Trevor Etienne.
Yeah. They both have microphones.
Yeah. That's not on you.
Yeah, I mean, you get to – a lot of times you see people get to the league, and they'll change – they'll let you know that their name isn't what you thought, Rel Reese. But this feels like Mike Stanton. It just took him so many years, and then he comes out. You got to do it early, man.
Yeah.
You can't let us screw it up and just roll with it. You just got to tell us that we're idiots and to fix it. Yeah, I was surprised though. Yeah,
So now moving forward, are you
everything.
When you're talking about him as a new Saints player, are you going Travis Achan?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All
yeah.
right,
I mean, you told me your name's something different.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm calling you. I'm not married to anything. I just want to get it right.
I'm just going to wear a rubber band, and every time I say Etienne, I'm just going to snap myself on the wrist, just so I train myself to say it right. So we'll see how that goes.
Hey, Nick.
I'm cheering for you.
Question for you. Mel Kiper, overrated, underrated?
I think Mel does a lot of work. He puts a lot of effort in. It's tough when you're number one quarterback and then you're defiantly fighting over it, and then he goes in the 5th round and then he doesn't play that great when he gets in the league. I think sometimes the biggest flaw for people I think in our field and what we do is just an inability to say hey, I'm an idiot and I'm updating my take with new information and kind of rolling with it. But he even kept fighting with that all throughout the season. And I guess at that point, you got so much stock in it that you just do it. But, I think Mel's very good at what he does, but I think he gets stubborn and gets married to some prior opinions. And I just think that's a mistake. If I think, the Devon Bailey trade isn't good in September and then he starts playing well in November, I'm going to say, no, I was wrong. I was an idiot. I got to update my take. There's new information. And I think sometimes he gets a little caught up in that, and it's good for TV. But it's just kind of now the next quarterback seeing I don't know.
I mean, I don't know what your problem is with Shedeur, Nick, but It's a little ridiculous.
No problem with Shedeur. It's just when he's a fifth rounder, you can't keep saying that he's not.
Yeah.
Like it's just you kind of got to know. And if I'm hearing where he's going to go, Mel Kiper certainly has heard it before I've heard it. He's way more plugged into that than me. But it's just kind of like, they get to a place. Look, I guess it's your opinion and not the league's opinion, but you also got to understand, like, hey, look, this is what I think, but this is where the league's going. Like that one just was tough for me. It was a tough evaluation.
Yeah, so Mel Kiper had a new mock draft come out this morning, and at number 8 with the New Orleans Saints, Carnell Tate, Ohio State wide receiver to the New Orleans Saints. How do you feel about that? I know you've talked about him on this show a little bit, but that's the newest mock draft. How would you feel about Carnell Tate, number 8?
Yeah, I like him. I think any weapon at this point would be a good pick. I think I prefer maybe. I like all them guys, and if they took any of the three, like any of the big three, I'd be cool with it. So it's kind of like picking nits with people that are really good, and I think they'd all be great additions to the team. I just think that you can get a different skill set, and there's a lot that goes into it. Like you got to be comfortable with Jordan Tyson's injury stuff, and that's a huge piece. You don't want to draft man, I just walked into this. You don't want to draft like a proverbial Lemon, but like I like Mekhi Lemon. And, I think he'd be a good fit, too, for what they do. So you want to be careful if you're going with Tyson. Just be sure. Have really good info on the medical. I like Mekhi Lemon because I think he kind of fits, if you're dividing the field out into 3 quadrants, I think you have people that fit into all 3 then if you take him, and you got, a really good underneath option, little dump-offs over the middle with them quick crossers, quick slants, and he can make someone miss, and off you go. And I feel like, Tate does a lot. I just feel like out of the 3, he's the most similar to Chris Olave. And I feel like you could, in an ideal world, if everything's clean and you feel good about, I know there's a lot of talk about Mekhi Lemon's combine interviews. The feedback I've gotten is that it wasn't an issue for the Saints. So, I mean, if you feel comfortable with that personality, you're good to go. Tyson, you got to feel good about the injury stuff. You'd be good to go. And I think Tate's really good. I think he'd be a good fit. You can have 2 of those guys, but if I like all of them the same as a team and I feel good about some of the other stuff, I think maybe I go one of the other 2 first. But Tate might be the right axis of health, ability, off-field, all that stuff. And if he is, and he ends up being your top guy, I'd be totally cool with that.
My only worry with Carnell Tate is that he's never been a number 1 receiver in college. Marvin Harrison Jr. was that guy 2 years ago, Jeremiah Smith. And, look, those are really good players. So it's not even a slight to him, but I would have a hard time selecting a guy at number 8 that has never been the number 1 guy at his position on his college team.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's an amazing point. If everybody's rotating to Jeremiah Smith and you're just getting the advantageous look every single game, I think that's something that you got to go into it looking at too. It feels like he can do everything, and I was at that Penn State game when he went crazy. So maybe I got a little bit of judging him too much off the highs or whatever, but I think he's good. But yeah, absolutely. Can he be the guy? Can he carry a team? I mean, I think those are all things that you gotta have good answers for, and I think that's probably at the very top of that list of things when you're getting your staff together and you're discussing him. Hey, look, is he a beneficiary of everything else that's going on here? We got all these guys, and he's over here, and we might have the best college wide receiver since Chase. What's the impact on him? So yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely something you got to have an answer for too.
Hey, I want to go one more position because I know receiver was what we got kind of excited about, and then we do deep dives, and you and I were both in Indy, so you start to hear the whispers of some guys' medicals and where they're at an interview process, like you mentioned there. So if it's not a receiver, I love the Saints going Mansour Delane. Not just because he's an LSU guy. I think he's a really good player. You lost Paulson Adebo 2 years ago. You lose Alante Taylor this year. Kool-Aid McKinstry's just not taking that step that you need him to take to feel like you've got your guy for the future. I think you need a corner on this team. And also, there's going to be some teams because I think 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 are going to want a corner. So you've got some – you're holding a really good spot as well because I think the Chiefs need to replace their corners. Cincinnati needs all the defensive help. I think Miami and Dallas, all those teams could use corners. So you got this if you put it out there that you're going to select him too, like there's going to be some teams that want to, maybe have a conversation with you about that pick. So if you make the selection at corner, I would feel really good about Mansour Delane at 8.
Are you predicting the round 1 trade down for Mickey Loomis?
I know. Well, if it was anybody else, I'd say it's almost guaranteed that's going to happen. The fact that it is Mickey, I'm like caution tape around it. But if he's ever going to do it, they are in a prime spot for what's probably going to be available to what literally like the next 4 teams behind them need.
It's a great point too, because he's one of those inflection points in the draft that if you do need one, like you kind of got to go get him. And now I think what they've done in their moves throughout free agency is, when you start restocking the deck, now all of a sudden, I wasn't really looking at Delane before. He's just like, well, there's just too many pressing needs other places. And now all of a sudden, like they sign these guys, and you start looking, you're like, Delane, like it makes sense. Alante goes too. He makes even more sense. So you definitely, if you don't want him, you can definitely create the appearance that you do. It's fascinating for them though too, because like I feel like it could be a good pick. I feel good about the 2 guys they got, but I could feel better. Like I'm not necessarily convicted to having Quincy Riley and Kool-Aid be my 1-2 punch. Like I could add a guy to that mix and be better. If it makes my team better, go do it. I know in the slot, like I think their preference is to kind of have a more of a safety play that position than have it be a pure corner, just for the flexibility and the stuff Staley wants to do. But I think they'd be open to going that direction if they needed to too. And I know they think Quincy Riley can play inside if he needs to. So it could be a way to strengthen up your whole entire group. The trade back is kind of fascinating because if he is, like, Delane could be that guy. And then I don't think there's a lot of people that people are going to be desperate to trade back in for. So if he is there and you don't want him, and, kind of the top of the draft is a little bit weak, so if you feel like your franchise changers are gone, can you drop back a little bit there? Like, hey, do you trade back, get another second? Do you take Messidor, and now you got 2 seconds to go wide receiver, whatever, guard, whatever you want to do? I think guard's still on the table. It would be a really nice way to stack the deck if you're sitting there and, I don't know, like, you don't need Jeremiah Love really anymore. I think he's probably out of play. A-Chain seems like the guy there. It feels like Alvin's not going to be on the team. Maybe you could draft Katron Allen if you pick up another pick or something. It'd be fascinating to see them do that.
Hey, Nick, how many calls have the Saints received about trading Derek Carr?
At the combine, it was 0, and I have not caught a whiff of anything on that. And that feels like something where, it would just be something where the wind would blow, and you'd feel the wind. Like, it's something like, there's just certain things that, like, if someone called for Derek Carr and it was about to happen, it feels like there'd be some pulse there that I believe would come my way. To this point, no. And I don't see the spot. Like, where's he going? Is it Pittsburgh or bust at this point? If Rodgers doesn't come back, I don't know where else he would go. I guess he could sell himself on the idea of the Raiders if they wanted him, but, like, is Derek Carr and I feel bad saying this, but, like, is he a guy you want around? Like, is he the mentor for a guy taking his job? It feels like no. It doesn't feel like that's something he'd want to do. So it feels like all the chairs are gone unless Rodgers decides not to play.
It was kind of a joke. Obviously, nobody's calling for Derek Carr.
I think he thought they were, though. I really think, like, when he put that out there, he's like, "Oh, hey, David, watch this, bro." And then nobody called, and he's like, "Oh boy, man, they're out there signing Tua Tagovailoa instead of me."
You got Kirk
why'd you have to
there.
say it like that, man? That was vicious.
I'm just saying, like, I think you just overvalued like what the market was going to be. There's not a market.
Hey, did Cam Jordan take a shot at Demario Davis last couple of days, saying something about, well, I'm not going to go to a team with 3 wins or something like that? Did you see this?
Was that the Teron Armstead interview?
Yeah, I think it was actually.
Cam talks really fast, and he says a lot of stuff, man, that I think people just don't. I like the way he says it. Like, stuff just flies under the radar. Like, Cam can go, like, stand at the podium and shoot up the club, and you don't even realize it until later. You're like, did he say that? Like, I mean, look, I was surprised Mario went to New York too, but he's got to do what's right for him and his family, so I get it. But yeah, I mean, camp situation is fascinating, man. I think they're really in a. I mean, it's not even a thing; it's obvious. Like they're in a standoff right now, and I think he sees his value at one place, and I think they see it about where it was last year. And I don't know. It seems like if they want to wait it out, like they can wait it out. I'm kind of surprised how hard lined this has been. I kind of thought, yeah, it would take a couple of days. If they're at 6.5 and Cam's at 10, like they'll just meet at 8 or something like that. And it doesn't seem like there's a lot of budge right now. And I don't know. Like there's two sides to this. Franchise legend, all that stuff. Like probably deserves better. Has given back money before.
Right.
And they're also a team that's, you kind of want a team that's value and rides it. I would think there should probably be a little flex for Cam, him becoming a top 10 NFL all-time sack guy in your jersey and finishing his career here. I think has value for everybody. And that's a moment that's probably, worth a couple $1 million to have in your building and have a memory for your fan base. But I get it from both sides. I'm just surprised it's playing out like this.
Yeah. Catching up with our guy, Nick Underhill, NewOrleans.football here on OTB. All right, Nick, I'm going to play this scenario out for the rest of the offseason, and you tell me how you would feel if this happened, okay? So for receiver, you look at what you have, and there's still veteran players out there. You've still got a little bit of money to spend, and you go sign Christian Kirk and Keenan Allen. It could be a 1-year deal for Keenan Allen, a 2-year deal for Christian Kirk. After you do that, at 8, you do take Mansour Delane out of LSU. So there's your corner. And then at 42, you select Cassius Howell out of A&M or Derek Moore out of Michigan. If they did that, how would you feel about what the Saints have done this offseason?
I feel like you kind of just solved the offseason right there.
Thank you.
It's not necessarily the path that I would have laid out if you told me to fill in all those blanks, but I like it. I mean,
you think Mickey's going to listen to me at owners' meetings coming up in a couple weeks?
Oh, man. You going to be out there?
Yeah, I'm going to be out there.
All right, I'll see you out there. Yeah, yeah, man. Like I like the pass though. I like the pass. I like the way they're doing it. I really want them to get the young wide receiver somewhere in there. I just feel like there's a lot of value in that, and you could get the RC Cola version of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase by taking Chris Bell, and it's a good soda. Like it might not be.
You think Bell's like a top 70 player? You think maybe even in the 3rd round, like he would be available, or do you think you got to take him at 42?
I think if you like if the knee checks out, I think probably in the 2nd. Like if it's sketchy on the knee and it's looking more like a in-season thing, probably around 3. I've also heard some whispers about just maybe the personality a little bit, just like some of the I think there's just some questions there, and I think that's why he came here for a top 30 visit. So usually when you're bringing a guy in, it's because you got some lingering questions, or in the case of a quarterback or something, you want to get some extensive time with them. But, I think they wanted to check out the knee, talk to him. I know Tyler Shock loves him, man. So, there's obviously some, just aggressiveness with how he plays. And I think that's good. I think that's what this team needs. I think this team needs some of that personality, and I didn't get the sense that there were minuses on him. The knee will be the big thing. That'll be the determining factor. But if you like him, like before the knee injury, like I think he was a top 50 player kind of universally, and then that kind of introduced some stuff. And then coming out of the combine, there was a couple I don't know about like the interview or whatever, but I think if he's healthy, I'd take him there. And I'd love it. Like kind of an AJ Brown type player, physicality, all that stuff. And look, Kellen Moore, like for all the things, like he knows how to handle those type of personalities. Like all those guys in Philly, nobody was crying about not eating there. Like he knows how to feed people. He's young, recently played the game. I think you understand if you have certain types of receivers, they want to work. Like they want you to give them tasks to do what works.
Right.
So like you need to get them involved. Moore kind of does that. So I think all that stuff would line up. I like them a lot. But I like your path, man. Like you get the bolster and corner is just starting to feel better and better, and it's starting to feel like maybe that's where you get the most bang for your buck. Like I don't know, coming in.
Well, it's so deep at edge rusher that I feel like at 42, you're still going to get a really good player. You're not going to get the same corner at 42 that you will get at 8. Now, I'm not saying you get the same guy, at edge rusher, but if I get Cassius Howell out of A&M, who I think's a hell on wheels off the edge, like you're feeling good about it, where I just don't know, Nick, that corner at 42 is going to have that same feeling. Because if we're talking about corner at 42, it's probably somebody, maybe you can get a D'Angelo Pons, who I like a lot. He's got some piss and vinegar to him.
He's like
but
5'9", right?
He's 5'9", 180, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, you can get the edge rusher there. Look, I think you could probably get one in the third round that you feel good about, just rotational too. Like, there's just a lot of guys, man. So, yeah, putting it to 42, I like it. I mean, I feel like you get production there. Maybe he's your third, but you feel like really good about where he's at and the arrow's pointing up. So, I'm with you, man. Let's do it. Turn in the card.
Hey, there we go. We did it. We figured it out. Nick, you're the man. We appreciate you every single Tuesday morning. So much so that we'll talk to you next week.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football, good enough to join us here, as we said, every single week. Sometimes he remembers, sometimes he forgets. But you know what? He always answers the phone, which we can appreciate. I do want to talk about that pick for Carnell Tate, though, when we come back. I think he's a good player, but I would have concerns selecting a receiver at 8 that I've never seen be the one.
Yep.
Because it wasn't a 2-1 situation. It was a 1 and a 2. And I'll tell you what I mean with a 2-1 situation when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, Pelican Roofing does a lot more than just take care of roofs here in Louisiana. They take care of the community as well. So right now, they've got something really cool going on, and it is called Run for Rufus. It's a fundraiser where their mascot, Rufus, is running a 5K every day for 30 days to help raise money for someone in our community going through a really tough time. So all the donations go directly to help that family with medical bills and recovery costs so they can focus on obviously what is most important, which is getting better. So if you want to help out or if you want to learn more information and the story behind it, all you have to do is go to that website. It is runforrufus.com. Now, of course, you can go to the website if you're watching this on YouTube, pelicanroof.com as well. And we already know what they are in the roofing game, but they're more than just roofs. They are here, they're local, they're in the local communities. So go to that website, runforrufus.com.
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn, presented by Community Steel.
Oh, hey, Matthew.
Oh, hey.
You, as some call you.
Nobody.
I do. So that's somebody. You calling me a nobody?
You said some people.
Yeah. I've heard Alondra call you before.
Yeah, Thew's funny to me.
I like it. I called another Matthew Thew, and he didn't like it as much.
No, it is.
Like, what?
I'm not gonna say I like it, but
Well, I don't really care about
I don't
it.
really care.
Like, you know.
I'm not like my
Pretty
name is sacred, bro.
I pretty much saved your life for 4 years. Well, 1 year, but I saved it multiple times.
HN.
Grown
right?
people were trying to hurt you, and I protected you.
Like in college?
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome. If I was trying to feel like I was in college again, where would I go?
That's easy.
Yeah.
Rejuvenate Medical.
Yes.
13 locations
Louisiana?
in Louisiana. There's also
One in Mississippi.
Mhm.
So if Dick Dixon, if you're listening and you want to feel youthful, you've got multiple locations for you, bud.
That's right.
Just like we have multiple locations. I'm from Shreveport. If you're driving from Tyler and you wanted to stop in Shreveport, you could.
You could.
Or you can just do it in Baton Rouge.
You can call ahead to schedule that blood work appointment. If you do a little call ahead, schedule that blood work, you get a little discount on that initial visit as well. Or you can also just go to one of their fantastic clinics, walk in.
True.
Ask to talk to their medical professionals about what's happening. Like if you maybe having low energy, maybe low drive in the bedroom, maybe just not feeling like your younger self. Hormone replacement therapy, that's perfect for it. And if you're going to do it, why don't you go to Louisiana's leader for over 10 years? So everything's medically supervised. It's not like, let's get high test, bro. No, it's not about that. It's just about like normalizing your body's function in the way it's supposed to be. Some people start getting low testosterone like in their 20s. That's not normal. Just get normalized. It's not about being high. And then also on top of that, peptides, which I'm doing right now, feeling awesome.
Yep.
With peptide, the Wolverine peptide, not a big deal. Just healing instantly.
I know you love that so
Which is
much.
and it's like real simple things that your body already makes. It's like not about like what you feel from taking it. It's like what you stop noticing, right? Little aches and pains here and there. And cosmetics, weight loss, all the good stuff right there. JuveMeMedical.com.
All right, let's go around the room. The New Orleans Saints selected 8 and 42. Now, look, I know our guy Ross Jackson put out a mock draft, and he's got Carnell Tate going there. I just don't like the pick because I see value in other players, and this receiver class, to me, does not have the game changer that you're looking for. And, again, I think Carnell Tate's a good player. I think he's going to play a long time in the NFL. But if you're going to select that position at 8, it's got to be a guy that is a no-brainer. Right? Because there wasn't like a Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate situation or a Marvin Harrison Jr. Carnell Tate situation where it was Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. That was 2 1s. This isn't 2-1 situation, which is okay. It doesn't mean you're a bad football player. In fact, you're a good football player. I can't select him at 8 right now. I would rather sign 2 veteran receivers. You traded for Vele, a young player. You've got Chris Olave, who's still on a first contract. So you've got some youth in the position. You are not set at corner right now. Like when you look at the New Orleans Saints and where they're at, you got Kool-Aid and Yidam at corner. That ain't going to play. You're going to have to go get another game changer. And I think Mansour Delane is that game changer. And again, this has nothing to do with him being an LSU Tiger. It has everything to do with him being the best corner in the draft. And you're sitting there at 8. I don't think that you can get the corner you're looking for at 42. I think you can get a good corner. I don't think you can get a Pro Bowl, All-Pro type corner like you can get at 8. Now, edge rusher, I do think you can get the game changer. There's going to be so many guys that are available. Now, you pick in the 70s as well. If you went corner, edge rusher, receiver, I actually would think if you do make those signings of veteran guys, I like that. I think you've done a great job. Right now, there's not a receiver at 8 that I think changes the math of your franchise and puts you in a completely different position. Like if you select the corner, or even if you wanted to go edge rusher, if somebody fell to you at 8 and you went edge rusher at 8, I think that makes you a better football team than any receiver in this draft.
It's one of those things that you desperately need a number 1. You don't have a number 1, and there's one obvious path to take it, and let's take one at number 8. And I get it. Some people say, is that too high for a Mansour Delane? It's a huge need for you. Like I think you have to take him because it's either him or Jermod McCoy, and McCoy's not going to make it out of the first round either. You could actually trade back if you wanted him, but you can't trade out of the first round.
You missed all of last season.
To do that, yeah, and he's coming off of an injury. I'd be good with them, like you said, either corner, edge rusher, receiver, or flip it and go corner, receiver, edge rusher, 1, 2, 3, because there's a lot of edge rushers in this class as well. Like you could get a guy like Romello Height in the 3rd round early if you're lucky. Like that's a guy that played a lot of football this year and had a lot of sacks. He was overshadowed by some of his teammates, but a really good player. I mean, Chris Bell will be there, like Nick said. Chris Brazzell from Tennessee actually had a really good year. Big body, ran a good 40 at the combine. There are a lot of options for you in the 2nd and 3rd
round. To your point about wide receivers drafted number 8 overall, did a little quick search here of the wide receivers that have been taken number 8 overall in the NFL draft. And these are kind of what your comp would be if you're looking to take somebody. Tedero McMillan went last year, number 8 overall.
Yeah.
Do you have a guy that you believe can be that? Drake London, 2022, taken 8 overall. Do you have a guy that could be a comp with him? Then the next one goes all the way back to David Boston back in the day. But
I got it.
8 overall. But you have to be real sure if you're taking that guy. It's the same thing with corner. To your point, Taylor. Like if you're taking that guy at 8 overall, yeah, at corner you're overdrafting at 8. And I've said that I don't think they should take Mansour at 8. I love Mansour, and I would love for him to be on the Saints, but trading back in the first round is the answer to me.
If you trade
for
back,
the Saints.
you're not going to get Mansour Delane. You're not going to get him.
It's fine.
The Chiefs, the Bengals,
But I'm not
the
overpaying
Dolphins,
for a
and the
corner at that
Cowboys
point.
are all going to select him.
That's fine, but I'm not overpaying for a corner, which can hurt a team.
You think 8's overpaying for a corner? That's not rhetorical.
Yeah.
You think what? So you're thinking 15?
It's got double
is the range.
digits. Double digits.
Yeah. Well, if you trade back,
Because there's value.
it's not going to be there.
Because an 8 holds a lot of value for a trade partner, especially in this draft. I mean, would I be mad? No, I don't be mad. I'm gonna stick to my guns on this situation where I don't overpay a corner. And there's 2 types of capital. There's actual capital, there's money,
Yep.
and there's draft capital.
Right.
Overpaying, like you could trade. You can obviously that like an 8 is way more valuable to a trade partner than a 10. So like that's why I say, and if you get to the double-digit round picks,
Yeah.
take a corner. That's
Yeah.
fine. But like single-digit corner is hard for me to wrap my head around because I just have not seen that work out very often.
Yeah. I do think there's a gap between where Mansour Delane is and the next closest cornerback in this draft. So, like, you have to keep that in mind if you are the New Orleans Saints. Now, if Reuben Bain falls to you because people are like, oh, he doesn't have 31-inch arms, then you select Reuben Bain. I think he's a game changer. He can play across the board. I've seen him play a wide 9. I've seen him play a 5. I've seen him play a 3. He can do all of those things at a really high level. So, like, if that situation happens, then, yeah, you got to be smart. And you got to take the best player on the board in a position of need. So there's ways the Saints can play this, but no way for me is selecting a receiver at 8 the best way. I think edge rusher, I would be okay with corner. I do not think this draft is a selected receiver at 8. I would now like Tedero McMillan, liked him better than any receiver in this class, and he.
I mean, that's obvious choice. I mean, he's
Yeah.
offensive rookie of the year. Like it panned out, and they were real certain he was going to.
Yeah, and if you watch his tape at Arizona, he was incredible. I mean, contested catch, everything he did.
If you're Mickey Loomis, you have to say, is there another Tedero McMillan, or is there another Drake London in this? Those are the comps at that specific pick in the draft.
Don't screw it up.
What?
You're in a great spot. Like, don't screw it up. Saints. Like 8 right now in this draft is a prime location spot. Because I think a really good player is either going to fall to you or you're going to have the opportunity to get a desperate position of need with your pick.
My thing
good
is,
player.
if they pick somebody, it's going to split the opinion of your fan base, right? If you actually take somebody.
Yep.
If you trade back, I would think the majority of people are going to like it.
They would like it regardless of who it is because they'd be so excited.
On the
Mickey
trade
would
back?
trade
Yeah,
back.
they don't care who
Yeah.
you draft. Just trade back, and then you're going to win in the court of public opinion.
Yeah. All right. We're long for a break. We'll take that break now. More OTB when we come back your way here live from the Raising Cane's studio.
Off the bench.
All right, we are so fired up to have Emerson Heating and Air on the squad. And let me tell you something. Right now, they have got a special just for OTB listeners. If you give them a call, 225-232-3522. Again, 225-232-3522. You call Emerson Heating and Air, and you get a full AC tune-up for just $89. That includes cleaning the indoor and outdoor coils, treating the drain line, checking electrical components, refrigerant pressure, and a full system performance check to help prevent costly breakdowns and extend the life of your unit. It's called the OTB deal, and that ends on March the 31st. So, again, 225-232-3522.
That's right. Emerson Heating and Air conditioning services, preventative maintenance, 225-232-3522. That's 24/7. You can give them a call. I'm actually meeting them this afternoon for a little tune-up. We'll get a tune-up, like heating, air condition wants to go heating, doesn't want to go cool, whatever it is. Emerson Heating and Air, 225-232-3522.
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn, presented by Community Steel.
I'll wait for you.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Jake.
There's
View.
this. Yeah, you. There's this group in Baton Rouge, Pala, P-A-L-A, palagroup.com is the website. You see, they're 100% employee owned, which is kind of cool. Minus the kinda. They've been in business here since the 1970s. That was a long time ago. That was even before Few and I were here on Earth.
It was.
So they've been doing things the right way for a long time, right? But the employee-owned part is kind of cool because they're looking to add members to the team.
Yeah, and the reason why they're looking at members of the team is because they're growing and they're absolutely rolling right now. They got major capital projects happening across the Southeast,
They hating.
Gulf Coast, Midwest. They got projects happening all over the place. So they're looking for the best of the best to join their team. And why would you want to work for a company that is employee-owned? They elevate from within all their employees. So if you are a skilled pipe fitter, iron worker, welder, project manager, estimator, planners, QC professional, whatever it is, give them a call. Palagroup.com. That's P-A-L-A group.com. See what they got going on. Go talk to them about how you can join the Pala family. Palagroup.com. P-A-L-A group.com.
Anybody got any plans for St. Patrick's Day today? Like, I know we celebrate this weekend. Are we going to do anything St. Patrick's Day related? Are we going to watch the Leprechaun movie? So we're going to watch Boondock Saints here for St.
No.
Patrick's Day.
I don't think I'm going to do anything.
The second one.
I'm going to jam to this U2.
No fish
They're
and
Irish.
chips for
Oh, they
anyone?
are.
Or Bono is at least.
They are.
No fish and chips for anyone?
I love fish and chips.
I do too.
God,
I thought that was British.
That's British.
Yeah, it is.
Irish.
Oh, I always see them in like Irish pubs and
Irish
stuff.
don't really even like the British.
Yeah, the Irish
No,
hate
they
the
don't.
British.
I mean, Northern Ireland is part of, obviously, the United Kingdom,
Why they have fish and
but
chips
not
in every
Ireland.
Irish
In fact,
pub?
if you put Ireland in the United Kingdom, they don't really like that very much, which I get.
When I went to Ireland, and most places, I got a lot of smoked salmon.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
They like that. They'll have
Probably
it
like
everywhere.
a bit
love
more
some
natural
smoked
feel
salmon.
than most places in America.
Yeah.
For the salmon.
Yeah, like I
that's,
say,
Yeah.
like
genetically
they had some nice food there.
created.
But yes, fish and chips is definitely not Irish.
Yeah.
This says it is.
I thought it was British.
I've had them in Irish pubs. I guess it's both.
I mean,
Hey,
it's fried fish.
the
and
Irish
French
pub in LP has got fish and chips, so it is Irish.
It was the Irish pub in Universal Studios, Jake. Let's have a little bit of class. Let's have a little bit of class here, okay? What are we doing?
Oh.
Good.
I just Googled, where did fish and chips originate? They originated in England.
Yeah.
Britain.
Oh.
Hey guys, I do got some bad news. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't.
No.
What was the?
No,
you
No.
found
I
a
wanna
fun
hear-
fact
I
out
wanna
there
hear
at the
that
end.
first.
Well, okay, they were combined with Jewish fried fish techniques. So they're actually Jewish.
Okay.
Okay.
Like Jewish immigrants from
Right.
Portugal and Spain brought fish and chips
Right.
to London and Lancashire.
Hey, melting pot.
Yeah.
Lester. I don't.
No.
see what you're
It says
reading.
Lancashire.
Pretty sure she nailed it.
Okay. Well, she didn't say with a lot of.
No, I
confidence,
don't know if I
didn't
nailed it, but Lancashire. Lancashire.
Crushed it.
I'm not British.
People are learning so much this segment.
You're about to learn something that I'm pretty upset about.
Okay.
Christian Kirk just agreed to a 1-year deal with the 49ers.
No.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, that receiving duo now,
They're
when they
doing pretty
might
good.
they can stay healthy.
Doing pretty good.
Damn it.
All right,
supposed to be
Keenan
a
Allen, it
saint.
is.
Well, but we need two. And you can't afford, like, Juwan Jennings is going to have to lower his price, by the way.
Yeah.
He's still out there, and I appreciate you having self-value, but the market value was estimated to be 22.6 per year. Dude, you're a week into free agency. You ain't getting – if you get that, it's going to be like literally like a 1-year heavy incentive-based deal. So right now, Juwan Jennings, Debo Samuel, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Hollywood Brown, Sterling Shepard, Tim Patrick, who's forever back up, but he's got a role, in the NFL.
If the price is low, I mean, it's Jawan Jennings. But to your
Yeah.
point, like, what are you going to get?
Right. You tried Brandon Cooks last year. That didn't work. That's not the receiver you need. If you can, go get Keenan Allen and draft somebody in the 3rd round. I'd feel much better about it.
Yep.
Anyways, I promised our
Hunter's
listeners.
still out there.
I promised our listeners we were going to get to Ask the Bench. It's not that big of a deal. We're taking a break at 46.
This is a huge deal.
We're going to get to your questions and keep Alondra happy. We're staying somewhat-ish on time. Ask the Bench when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, if your business depends on printers, copiers, and office technology, you need a partner you can trust. And that is Gulf Coast Office Products. GCOP provides top-of-the-line copiers, printers, and managed IT services to keep your business running smoothly. So, from document management to network support, their local team delivers fast, reliable service when you need it the most. Whether you're a small business or a large operation, GCOP has the solutions to help you work smarter, not harder. Visit GCOPnet.com to learn more. Gulf Coast Office Products, your local partner for office technology.
Sure is. Gulf Coast Office Products. Look, if you work in an office, if you run an office, whether it's one person, two persons, 2,000 people, it doesn't matter. When the technology stops and that paper trail stops, like business comes to a halt. Their award-winning technical team, if something happens, they will get on it and they will get you back up and running in no time. Gulf Coast Office Products, GCOPnet.com.
Off the bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. Presented by Community Steel.
World was on fire and no one could save me but you. Strange what desire will make foolish people.
Matt, who sings this song?
We did this to you. So you have to
We
remember.
already asked this question about this song.
Oh, is that the guy, one guy's son?
No,
Nope,
no, no, no.
That's Jacob Dylan of the Wallflowers. That one guy be Bob
That
Dylan.
one goes so
That one guy's.
awesome.
Did you know he's still alive? He's actually coming to Baton Rouge.
No way.
Yeah. At the River Center Theater.
I can't remember this one.
2 first names.
Jeff George.
I love that. I actually do love that. Hell yeah, Jeff George.
Yeah, let's
Chris
go.
This
Isaac.
is Jeff George. Yeah.
Ah,
It's Chris Isaac, but it's now going to be Jeff George.
Yeah. Wicked
Chris
Game by
Isaac.
Jeff
Okay.
George.
I won't remember it.
But remember, like we were saying, Isaac is spelled with a K instead of a C at the end.
I'm still
Hey, you would have been right on.
recall.
Jacob Dylan would have been 2 first names. So
See? So I got it.
you said Jeff.
You're basically right.
I thought you were going Ricky
I'm not
Bobby
going
for a
to
second.
try Chris Isaac. Chris Isaac with a K. That's ridiculous.
So
way to
everybody
spell that,
complains in the chat how we don't do Ask the Bench. Not one single Ask the Bench
man. Yeah,
question in there.
It's true. Well,
Not one single
there's a-
one.
they got rid of them all.
Oh,
in the
here's one.
OTB mailbag.
Actually, I lied.
Yeah, this is a Gulf South one.
It was 1. Would you rather be on home confinement for 10 years, can't leave for any reason, or be in state prison for 3 years? I think state prison for 3 years.
3 sounds better than 10, so I'm going to go with 3.
But also, like, state prison isn't what
Can't
it used to
leave
be.
for any reason.
I feel like people be vibing in prison nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take 3 years. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to, you're going to survive, dodge a couple shanks here and there, but
I mean, it's a good opportunity to join a couple friend groups.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Network-
be careful who you
network a little
choose
bit.
there.
Got to
you
be
know?
careful who you choose.
Which brotherhood you choose.
Yeah,
will
don't
say a
shave your
lot.
head.
That's right.
No.
Got to earn that respect.
Like, I love
immediately,
being at
too.
home. I'm a homebody.
Love it.
But for 10 years, I
Yeah.
can't go anywhere?
Like, can I get can it be a compound?
They go in the backyard and
You
stuff.
know?
Question.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. how are we taking in the World Baseball Classic tonight?
Same way I've been taking
It's
it
the
in.
television.
Yeah.
Really.
I think they meant like you getting food, like you go to a restaurant, you go to a bar.
We're going to
Probably
be
just
locked
at
in.
home.
I know that.
Yeah, we got
Absolutely
baseball practice
locked in.
today. So the beginning of it's on the phone. The other half will be
We'll
with
be
dinner.
fish
Then
and
it'll
chips
be,
at the
Fish and
local
chips,
Irish
sure.
pub, and then
Again, I'm going to say it again. Scooble, absolute coward for not being available.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Is anyone else happy the trader Aaronola lost last night for the Italian-American team? Actually, would like to have him on the American team.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that Venezuela team, that was pretty electric stuff.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Is there anything more untrustworthy than someone with 3 first names for their full name?
3 first names. Have I ever come across somebody that has 3 first names?
so
wonder what-
like
I wonder
if
what
Chris
Jimmy John's
Isaac,
last
if Chris
name is.
Isaac had like James
Well,
as
yeah.
his middle name, it'd be
Yeah, I
John
get it,
Paul
but like
James.
I just don't
John
think
Paul
I've
James?
ever.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you meet a John, hey, what's up, man? John Paul James.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh.
Tommy John.
yeah. What's his middle name?
What's his middle name?
Let's find that out.
Is that John his last name?
Probably.
Thomas Jonathan.
Tommy John Jeff.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Can you see baseball still making it to Omaha?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
It went on
So
runs.
early.
We talked about
Very early.
they were
Alondra,
not
wipe that smile off your face.
USA.
Off the bench.
Do not like that smile. That was a you know what. All right, if you want to ride and stand it out on the road, well, you've got to check out Bayou Automotive and their Black Widow packages. These fully customized trucks bring next level style and performance, lifted stands, aggressive wheels and tires, premium interiors, and bold design that turns heads everywhere you go. And the best part, Bayou Automotive makes the process easy. We always talk about that. Easy is the word with Bayou Automotive. With a team that helps you find the perfect setup to match your style and your budget. So we always encourage you to go to BayouAutomotive.com. You can check out those Black Widow packages. I can tell you, I have never been cool to my children until right now. It's because we got the Black Widow Jeep and we're rolling around town thanks to Bayou Automotive and BayouAutomotive.com.
Yeah, not that cool still, but cooler.
Yes, cooler. Perfect way to say it.
Ford, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, the best and absolute seamless transactions. BayouAutomotive.com.